Okay, I'm filming it this time. I'm gonna quickly go through the religions a little bit faster than I did the what do you call them? The worldviews, mostly because A, I think the answers are relatively obvious. B, um, here's how I put it: the um, the um, the it's nearer to us. We've done these earlier. Okay, Islam is a monotheistic God, and Allah. Is the response that's going on there. And so I always am like, what's the difference between Islam and Christianity? And it's the difference between they don't like the Trinity and they don't like Jesus coming down as a body. God is completely spirit. Buddhism is pantheistic. And usually I think of that as a force. Okay. So, like Star Wars, I think of that way. It's impersonal and you're getting in touch with the force. Sikhism, a lot of times get accused of being pantheistic, but I just put as a transcendent God. And then remember that the 10 gurus are considered God. Got it? Hinduism is polytheistic. And I do know that on the test will show up the three main gods, which are Shiva, which is the destroyer, Vishnu, that is the preserver, Brahma, that is the creator God. Okay, so know those. Relatively straightforward there. Founder is Muhammad. From Mecca. Okay, Buddhism is Siddhartha. For Sikhism, it's Guru Nanak. And Hinduism, it's Indo-Europeans. Anyhow. I doubt the Indo-Europeans will make it on there. History of Islam. Know that it's tied to Mecca and Medina. And really what I think makes it unique is its kind of political drive. It created those large empires like the Abbasid Caliphate and spread a lot through taxes and war, which is different, I think, than most of the other religions. Not that it didn't spread other ways, but that was one of the main ways that it spread. Basically, focusing spread here, this is going to go from India to China, and then it branches off into like Southeast Asia, Vietnam, those places, into Japan where you have Zen Buddhism. So it's like it's a religion that's spread a lot and is hardly in India at all. Sri Lanka is going to be the center of the one of the divisions. I'll talk about that later. But it's a spreading religion, which I would compare to Christianity in a certain level because Christianity also has that. Sikhism, it had 10 gurus. It fought with the Mughal Empire, got along and fought at different points. And that's going to create them having and desiring their own country, okay, their own nation, which they don't have. Okay. Hinduism has stayed in India, relatively speaking. And so there's a lot I could say about the history, but I'm going to hold off there because I don't think it's that important. These are just so you know which association, which of the major belief systems with which acronym. The 5 pillars you need to know. That is the confession. Muhammad is one. Sorry. God is one and Muhammad is his prophet. Then you have alms to the poor, prayer 5 times a day, fasting during the month of Ramadan, and then finally the Hajj. Anyhow, those are kind of the ones that centralize the belief. For Buddhism, it's the 4 Noble Truths. And then there's going to be a focus on meditation. Remember, the 4 Noble Truths are life is suffering. Suffering is caused by desire. To end suffering, end desire, that would be the 3rd one. And then meditate, get yourself thinking right, sort of idea. For Sikhism, it is the 5 Ks. Noticing the dress that they have, the long hair, they have a bracelet, they have the dagger for protection of the community. They have, What am I forgetting? Oh, they wear shorts in their ceremonial baptism. What am I forgetting? The other K. Comb, the wooden comb. Steel bracelet, I think I got. Okay. Hinduism, usually we think through karma, what goes around comes around in the next lifetime. Reincarnation, which I could just talk about at death. And then that's right here at moksha. I'll just put it down right here. Eventually, you want to enter into enlightenment. And so then the caste system becomes central to climbing the ladder of multiple lives, enlightenment that is going on there. For Islam, heaven or hell. For Buddhism, it is reincarnation until you reach nirvana, which is not well described because it can be everything and nothing all at the same time. For Sikhism, I'll just say it's probably not on the test because I've been described a judgment, but there's also reincarnation, and then that should be moksha, not mokshan. Moksha is like the idea that reincarnation is ending at some point and you can reach enlightenment. Okay? Writing. For Islam, they are people of the book, which for them is the Quran. For Buddhists, I'll just put down the Pali Canon here, which is like the oldest books, but the any saying of Buddha or the Buddha Vacana is going to be the books that they're, I don't know, they sayings that go on, but it's not they're organized in one book. It's organized in a bunch of different books. In short, they're not a people of the book. It's more tradition that's put into each thing. For Sikhism, they have the Adi Granth, which is considered God as well, and they'll read at their ceremonies. Hinduisms remember they have that history that had three things. It's the Bhagavad Gita, which is just a large mythological kind of sort of tale, and then the Upanishads, which tell you how to meditate. And then remember, based off the eras, they also have the Vedas. I don't think any of that's going to be on the test, but anyhow, there you go. Divisions, Islam, the big one is the succession issue between Sunnis and Shiites, which is the majority, and this means this is the minority. But remember, it's all about these guys are related to Muhammad. So the Shiites are tied to Muhammad, in terms of like their who they want to have be their leader, where the Sunnis are the best man for the job. Okay, so there you go in terms of that. And then Buddhism, the divisions that we talked about were Mahayana, which is mostly in China, and just means the majority, and that's where you see the statues. Theravada, which is the oldest. And then Tibetan Buddhism, which is dealing with the lamas. And I just wanted you guys to make sure that you guys recognize who the Dalai Lama was in recognition that there are different types of Buddhism. I could have talked about Phil Jackson and Zen Buddhism because Zen Buddhism is relatively popular in the United States as well. Nobody did that, did they? Yeah, I have no one doing any projects on Zen Buddhism. And then Sikhism, none that I know of. And then Hinduism, just know that it led to Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. There you go. All right, and that's a course, guys. Now we'll go closer there for, there you go. You need to write anything down, there you go.